I'm alive and I'm well and I'm not Nerve. The title, I said it all in the title, guys. Okay, so Nerve, if you're not aware, world, like I know the world is watching, right? And like, oh my god, like are they like Samurai Mid? She has this intellectual crush on this person. Like they could be that could look like this, and she's gonna like betray us, or and then like Nerve's people are like, I wouldn't like something's not right about. Yeah, I know, world. Like, hey, why? Like, I want to dress. As I've mentioned, I can't state enough. I don't care what you believe or don't believe. I can't stand any of yous. I just have this curse of being like trying to understand and relate to others. So it doesn't mean I like you, but I certainly don't have bad intentions. So yes, Nerve, this is in response to Nerve's recent post that he had to like, you know, thank you, Nerve, for like giving me that 500. Like, okay, like can that help me get another night in my homeless hotel room? Because that's where I'm going with this. Nerve is like I would love nothing more, and I don't think it's necessarily an excuse. Somewhat in my life, an excuse. I saw somebody keeping it out. With that Nerve. I don't why who's doing that. Like I only feel bad because I feel like guys. I told you I felt like I've been like oh I don't want to be a creep. So in response to Nerve's kind but yet still a snarky Mr. Snarky McSnarkster, Nerve Gorilla, and I say Nerve Burger because, and he asked me why, guys, the reason I call him Nerve Burger, no, there's no hidden agenda. It's just techie stuff is nerdy and Nerd Burger is a thing. If you haven't noticed, I use old timey talk and weird talk. So Nerd Burger, but his name is Nerve, so it's Nerve Burger. Yeah, there's no weirdness. Like I think nerve asking that. I don't know. Like everyone's still suspicious, but anyhow, in the snarky but yet kind post of nerves regarding me, excuse me, um, being open to accepting his help. But he said he hopes I stick with it because these TIs, these TIs, they always say this, right? But they're I told well in in TI's defense, a lot of them are finding themselves in this weird position where I have. I don't know. I mean, allegedly they are, right? Like, as far as I can know, I certainly can lay out, excuse me, I certainly can lay out to you anybody who would be interested in knowing, like, what actually happened to you, Sam, as far as like stuff that could be privately. It doesn't always have to be streamed. This goes to you too, Nerve. Anything. I can't stress enough on my channel. I just wish people would ask me questions that if you're are you not allowed to or something? Like I don't know. When have I shown? I mean, I can't show enough. Like in that regard, Nerve and I. How strange is it though, right? So okay, well, Nerve. I love nothing more than to devote, like, just my life is just never. I can't get to the point yet where I could just like put a weekend, a fucking weekend where I know, like, I've been through so much and like just so much frenzy and chaos and instability that it's just gonna take me a while after even having it. First of all, getting there. Secondly, feeling confident. Like some people may call it laziness or complacency, but in my case, I feel it's just it it becomes it starts off because of that. Like recuperation from like shell shock, right? Essentially shell shock and like recovery every and I just never feel like I ever get I've yet certainly not over the last like 2 years, I would say. Certainly not over the last year where I've had just time to like and people struggle with that anyway, right? Like, oh, like people who like get laid off from work and they're like, cool, now I can use this time to like do all these things. Yeah, no, nobody ever time management and so no, we're all terrible with it. But in my case, particularly, I can never just like. I mean, truly, right now, it's at the point I'm at this weird. I don't know. So, but yeah, I would love nothing more than to devote like a true setup because I've been searching. I've complained so many times. I just never uploaded it necessarily videos were expressing this. Like, I refer to them as a white hat friend. I explained to Nerve, it doesn't have to get that deep, guys. I still judge a book by its character, not its color of its hat. So that's just a reference to like how what's like it's just a term, right? Like white hat, meaning like I know nothing of tech, but yet he does, and I trust that he won't like lead me in the wrong direction and like abuse his this trust that I'm trusting with him. Now, here's the funny thing: if you want to talk about, as the fates would have it, how 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 would we all end up here in this situation, right? I find myself in this white hat friend I've sought after. Literally, I've been willing to pay like somebody on Fiverr. I've talked to friends, guys. I have evidence of conversations where I've reached out to people and like, hey, you know anybody that can do this for me? Like, I'm starting an organization, really. Like, yeah, no, not one person. And that's why I've always referred to incels as such. Like when I'm talking about these techie guys, right, that have like this this like map of character that I am referring to incels, it's usually people who believe they think they're techies, and all that stuff, but they also think that they're like they play Magic the Gathering and then they end the game. The cards go back in the sleeve, but they still think they're like the master of like all that is outside of that. Those are the ones I'm referring to as incels. Just for you guys out there who get triggered by that word, because I understand that is a triggering word. It's probably like hearing hoe or slut for us ladies, right, or something like that. Like, yeah, I don't mean to. It's just because nobody has ever done that. And then free LS, but like, yeah, we come across paths like this, and in such a taunting way, right? Like I'm sitting here unknowingly, unbeknownst to me, taunting Nerd, and he's he's baiting me this whole time, and I've been watching, guys. I've kind of more me though, but I notice things. I do. I told you guys I noticed. So I just, now it's time to take bait. Yeah, I just want to let Nerve know. First of all, now I see this other video you have about goblin swarmers. I'm assuming, I swear to you, don't make me regret watching it because I'm going to watch it and I don't I trust you. I mean, what's the worst that can happen at this point? But so one, I'm here to tell Nerve and the world on their edge of their seats. Like, where's this thing going, right? Because like guys, he stressed to me he has a girlfriend. Okay, so like, it's not even like that. Okay, like, yeah. And frankly, stop making me out to be this like fangirl of everyone because I often get threatened with cars belonging to other females who date these fellas I find myself connecting with in just like um a healings and like I guess I could see where there might be jealousy, but like please don't run me over with any vehicles. Nerve girl is go like he stressed that, guys. All right. So I'm putting my life on the line again by even like doing like where would be my agenda in this? Because I'm getting a vibe from this internet world, right? Like watching, or is this all in my TI imagined mind, right? Y'all have a fucking issue with it, or underhandedly you do. Why would that be? Riddle me that. Riddle me that. And I'm not praising like Nerve as like some. I mean, sure, like yeah, Nerve. I am. And I've said like, hey, if you really are this trickster, like master of all tricksy digital things, then by all means, at that point, I'm all about respect. And in that regard, you have every right to own me like remotely and shit. If I'm like I said, I'm sitting there counting. I'm doing mathemology with pebbles still. Then I'm all about like you got like hate the game, not the player kind of. What I'm like, or I respect the game and the player. Certainly if you're playing, you're a good player. I say you gotta throw respect on the check regardless. That's just my style. I've even said in my goblin swearing, like, the best of the bet, like survival of the fittest of goblins coming my way, likewise, that should extend outwardly to others, goblin swarmers. Should they swarm me so well that I get swarmed like Kevin, in My Girl, like the boy in My Girl, and that's how I go down, then all is fair in love and war, as they say, right? It was a good game. I can respect that. I can respect that nerve. But yeah, I'm gonna watch this video, world and nerve. Mark my words here. Your snarky comment to see if I follow through. I would love nothing more to than devote my time to that. I absolutely would, because I already have like I just want to start. I would let you not only screen share, I'd let you, if it were possible, to like screen share, but like let you also like share, like mouse share, so that you could just fucking do it for me. And then I guess, like, yeah, like what, like, help me start like down, I guess it would have to be this way, but like truly in like a, like, not the way we're doing it. So, world as my witness and nerve, is, don't let that fucking snarkiness. I'm telling you, don't think you won, nerve. Don't think you won if I don't get back. If I don't continue on with this immediately, okay? Not all of us can have the luxury of like chewing cashews, in our homes. Sometimes we gotta fight on a day to day basis of like, where the fuck am I gonna live? Now, how I got there, I'm not saying it's your fault, Nirv, right? I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying you should feel guilty about it. I'm just saying, put yourself in my shoes, okay? Put yourself in my shoes, all right? That would be like, hey, like, just just thank you, Nerve. But this not. I kind of like it, but I just mark my words. Now I'm gonna watch this fucking video and see. I'm gonna see. Don't make me regret. Don't make